Assalamu alaikum. How are you, everyone? I hope you're fine. My followers and my subscribers in all over the world, welcome with Mr. Muad JB. Today, I will explain and compare two tenses in our lessons series of tenses. Previously, we have discussed two tenses, present simple and present continuous. Today, we're going to discuss and compare two tenses in the past simple tense and past continuous tense. We study them in a way by comparing each one of them in many aspects like form, usage, and negative question. So, if you focus with me, you will find its comprehensive explanation and it's professional that you no need to study them out of this source. First, I start by past simple tense form. As you can see, we use the verb in the second type, or we can say using ed, verb to. We use verb to. So with regular verbs, we just add ed. But in irregular verbs, we have to know verb to with each verb if it's irregular. Of course, with all pronouns and nouns. So if you use visit, it will be visited. Run, it will be run, because verb to of run is run. So we're going to use verb to. We're going to use verb to after the subject, of course. But on the other hand, or on the other side of the word, في الجانب الآخر من العالم, there is what we call past continuous tense, which verb to be in the past, which is was and were, plus present participle, which is verb ing. If I have subject I, he, she, it, or singular noun, I use was plus verb ing. If it is we or they or you, and plural like Tom and Helen, we use were plus verb ing. Here we can see example about past simple. I worked in this company 3 years ago. But here we can say I was working in this company when I met Mr. Ahmed. Now, what we care for, because most of the students know the form, but the usage of the tenses, I will discuss most of the situations that we use these two tenses. I start by past continuous tense. First, when I talk about a completed actions in the past, something that happened and finished in the past, as he went to the cinema yesterday. خلاص, he went and finished. Another thing, and most people have mistake in this use, a habit in the past. I always did my homework on time when I was a student. This habit, I get used to do it. I used to do it in the past, but now it's finished. A series of actions in a story. Of course, the story will talk about past. So we can say, he sat down and ordered a coffee. Ordered coffee. Of course, we don't use a because it is here coffee. It is uncount noun. And as you know, with uncount nouns, we don't use a or an. The fourth use of this tense, unreal or imaginary writing. If I won the lottery, I would buy a new house. This what we call second conditional. If plus verb 2, we get would plus verb 1. If I won the lottery, I would buy a new house. It's imaginary, it's unreal thing. If I won. Fixed period with time expressions. Of course, when you talk about something like past dates, I visited China in 2008. And with past time words, the most important words, yesterday, last, you can say last week, last month, last year, and ago, and dates in the past dates. Like, I would like to mention something which is important here. I can't say I saw Muhammad before 3 days. It's better to say I saw Muhammad 3 days ago, and ago come after the time. Now, let me move on to explain how and when we use past continuous. Arrangements in the past. As to say, I was having a party at that time. Parallel actions in past. Actions that was happening at the same time. My brothers were watching TV while I was studying. Number 3, interrupted actions in the past. So here we need to use past simple with past continuous. When the doorbell rang, I was sleeping. So you see, I was sleeping when the doorbell rang. As you can see here, the ringing of the door cut the sleeping, interrupted the sleeping. The sleeping was continuous. When they came, when they visit us, I was drinking my coffee when they visit us. So I was continuous in drinking my coffee, then they visit us. Number 4, emphasize on length of the action. Of course, it's continuous, it's past continuous. When I focus, I want to focus on the length of the action. I can say I was working in office all day from 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock, for example. And as you know, with time words like at that time, while, as, all day, yesterday, all night. For example, my son was coughing all night. Of course, in the future, I will tell you we can use present perfect continuous with this using when we talk about long of the action, but also we can use past continuous. Here, I mean, we can say my son has been coughing all night. But I will show you later what is the difference when you use this and when you use present perfect continuous. Now, how I use negative in these two tenses. Of course, in the past simple tense, we just use did not, didn't, or did not. And the very important thing, we need to write the verb in the present or in the infinitive. In the infinitive, I mean the base form of the verb. It's verb 1. I can't say they didn't went. They didn't go. This is the base form, the infinitive, to school today. He didn't ask for help. I didn't buy a new car. Of course, we can say did not or didn't. As you can see, it's verb 1, infinitive. But As for the past continuous, I use not after the verb to be in the past, after was and were. If it is was, I just put not. He was not calling his friends. He was not calling his friends. With the plurals, we use were and not. They were not cooking at home. They were not cooking at home. Last but not least, how we make questions from these two tenses. Of course, in the past simple, we use did in the beginning of the sentence or after the question word. Did, then the subject. And of course, when you use did, you have to write the verb in the infinitive. And this mistake and or error, a lot of students committed. Look, did she tell the truth? Verb 1. Yes, she did. Or no, she didn't. Now here, question word, when did they begin the meeting? Look, here, they began. They began the meeting at 10 a.m. The answer in the past, but it is not question. So I need to write the verb to. But here, because it's in the past, but because it's a question, so in the question, it will be infinitive. Let me come to the questions in the past continuous. I just put was and were in the beginning of the sentence or after the question word. Like here, was she cleaning the house all day yesterday? Yes, she was. Only she was. No, she wasn't. Here with the question word, who was cleaning the house? With plurals, we use were. Where with we or they or you, of course, and a complement. Take care, bear in your mind, here in the questions and negatives with past continuous, we keep the verb as it is, ing, with ing. Were you eating when I called? Look, eating. We didn't write it as infinitive. No, we were not. Thank you very much. If you like the video, click like and subscribe my channel on YouTube and follow me on Facebook, and don't forget to turn on the notifications, and I hope you learn well with Mr. Muad JB.